Gunshots, a community in shock and left searching for answers. Wink News reporter Summer Senni is live in Cape Coral. Summer, what do we know there?
Well, Emma, right behind me, this is the home that police were interested in all last night and early this morning. They were going in and out of that open garage that you see there, investigating. Now, Cape Coral police left just about a half hour ago, but let me show you what that scene looked like late last night and early this morning. You can see caution tape surrounding this same home on Northwest 25th Place. Neighbors said a man was taking out his trash and was shot. They said they saw a body lying in the grass when we were here last night. And now this morning, police were focused on this area of water that you see on your screen behind Northwest 1st Terrace and Northwest 25th Place. Dive teams were in the water for at least an hour while police looked on. I spoke with a neighbor who lives a few houses down and said the shooting is shocking to hear.
I didn't realize it was my neighbor or something happening at my neighbor's house. And I come out here all the time, like late at night and stuff, and put my garbage out or do anything like that. So now I'm kind of leery to even leave my house at night.
Cape Coral police has confirmed that they were investigating and still are investigating a shooting here at Northwest 25th Place, and one person is dead. We're working to find out who that victim is and the identity of the shooter as well. We're pressing Cape Coral police for answers, and as soon as we get them, we'll be sure to bring them to you.
WKRN.com alert desk with another update to share with you. A story we first brought to you this morning. A man is now facing murder charges after a deadly shooting overnight in Edge Hill. Surveillance video now showing 34-year-old Ronald Lamont Russell Jr. shooting the victim, James B. Cox III, multiple times. This happened on D4 Bailey Avenue just before 12:30 this morning. Cox was rushed to the hospital where he later died. Police say Russell is undergoing psychological evaluation and will be booked on the murder warrant when he's discharged from the hospital. For breaking news around the clock, just head to WKRN.com.
Year-old man is not expected to survive after being shot while driving on the East Freeway.
Yeah, very sad. HPD investigators are calling this an act of road rage, and they are now questioning the other driver who returned to the scene. ABC 13's Charlie Etsity is live this morning near Uvalde, the exit there on I-10, with more on how this all unfolded. Good morning to you, Charlie.
Good morning to you, Samika. So we know right now from investigators that both of the drivers involved did fire shots, but it was the 21-year-old behind the wheel of a truck who ended up being struck. And so we know that driver did have a woman in the passenger seat of that truck, and they both ended up crashing here on the main lanes of the East Freeway. And so what we know so far from investigators is that this scene all unfolded just before 11 p.m. overnight. Several police officers responded out here. We've learned passengers inside both of the vehicles did call 911 after the incident. According to a witness who was inside of the car, she tells HPD that her 26-year-old son was driving and her husband was in the passenger seat. She was in the back seat. They were headed outbound on the East Freeway when she claims a truck with a man and woman inside came up right behind them and was tailgating them. Eventually, that truck went around the car, and that's when detectives say that driver rolled down the window and fired at the car. The driver of the car then returned fire, striking that other driver, causing the truck to crash. And so the woman inside the truck was okay. The other driver of the car did return out here to the scene and is cooperating with police.
Investigators are coming. All this is going to be assigned, turned over to the DA's office for statements and a good investigation to figure out if any charges are going to be filed.
And so investigators are working to gather up any surveillance video that possibly captured what happened here on the freeway. And right now they are asking any witnesses, other drivers out here who perhaps saw anything, to reach out and contact their office.
A man was shot by the owner of a storage garage after he broke into the facility early this morning. According to the Van Wert Police Chief, just before 1 a.m. in the 1000 block of Pratt Street, officers responded to a shots fired call. The owner said he was in the facility when a person broke in. The suspect came within 4 feet of him, he says, and he shot him twice in self-defense. The suspect still took off. Minutes later, the police were called to another home on Cherry Street where the resident said the man showed up with those gunshot wounds. The man flown to a Fort Wayne hospital with what the chief called non-life-threatening injuries. No names have been released. That incident remains under investigation.
Thank you, Kirsten. Also breaking tonight, an update in Cambridge. We now know more about that road rage incident sparked by a shooting on Memorial Drive today. Witnesses say the shots were fired during a busy evening by the Sailing Pavilion in broad daylight. NBC 10's Aaron Logan is live right now on Memorial Drive with new details from police. And Aaron, what did they tell you?
Well, Darren, all is quiet right now along this very busy stretch of Memorial Drive, but around 5:15 this evening, as you saw, it was very chaotic when police responded to shots fired. And we just got word from Mass State Police just minutes ago that both men involved were seriously hurt and both are facing charges. A shooting investigation in an area families normally turn to for peace and quiet. It was anything but that late Sunday afternoon.
We heard, several gunshots, probably between 7 and 9 gunshots.
This witness, a retired police officer, didn't want to be identified, but says he watched the crime scene unfold. State police, Cambridge police, and MIT police responded to this stretch of Memorial Drive near the MIT Sailing Pavilion after reports of shots fired.
Stray bullets can go down the street, We were just concerned.
State police say one victim was taken to the hospital. This witness says he saw 2 people hurt.
I saw them. Yeah, there was 2 guys bleeding over there. There was definitely 2 guys bleeding.
When the retired officer noticed the glass shattered by gunfire on this SUV and another car part of the crime scene, he immediately thought
either someone was mad at each other or there was some type of road rage incident.
Cambridge police say it was in fact a road rage incident. The suspect caught on scene.
I think it's nonsense because there was people with baby carriages. There was several people, jogging and walking, and anybody could have got hurt.
People who live here and walk around regularly sounding off with similar thoughts.
Families go on their walks all the time, and even dogs. So it could have been someone else's life, not just people in the car.
And as I mentioned, just minutes before the newscast, we did get an update from Massachusetts State Police, and they say both of those men involved do not know each other. Their names are 65-year-old Cesar Gutierrez and 30-year-old Kevin Osorio. Cesar Gutierrez allegedly hit Osorio with a blunt object. Osorio then grabbed his gun and allegedly fired shots at Gutierrez. Both men will face a judge when their conditions improve. Live in Cambridge tonight, Erin Logan, NBC 10 Boston.
A 62-year-old man remains in the hospital tonight after being shot in the face multiple times. Police say the man was an intruder in a Fayette County home and the homeowner pulled the trigger. KDKA's Ricky Sayer has more on why the man shot isn't being considered a victim.
62-year-old David Luxzak is being charged with both criminal trespass as well as burglary. State police are part of this investigation. They were called to the home in Henry Clay Township last night around 11:20. If you split the distance between this coop and this pool, you'll find a spot where a Fayette County man made his stand.
It's very strange.
Strange for multiple reasons. Fayette County DA Mike Abel says the couple who lives here found the man Saturday night.
And he did enter the home, actually went into different rooms of the home, was obviously not welcome.
The DA says the man was back outside when the homeowner confronted him as he tried to go back inside. Abo says Luxzak refused to leave and threatened the homeowner.
Thank God the homeowner was armed. This could have been a lot worse.
Abo says the homeowner used a pistol and shot Luxzak twice in the face. He's in stable condition at a Morgantown hospital.
He's very lucky. He is very lucky to have survived. Again, it's by the grace of God that he's still here.
He says it's a case of self-defense, and they expect to officially clear the homeowner tomorrow.
I don't see any reason why we'd be charging him. He acted well within his rights at all times. He's cooperated fully with the investigation.
But questions remain, namely the why.
We're looking at the possibilities of a mental health situation here. We've been in touch with his family, but we've had some conflicting information from him.
Abel says he's spoken with the homeowner and he is shaken up by the experience.
It's a very scary thing. It's not something that we like to have happen in Fayette County. Everybody deserves to feel safe in their home and, take appropriate action to protect their house, protect their castle.
We've also learned that Luxzak was charged with murder in a 2013 Ohio homicide. I was asking the DA here in Fayette County about it, and he told me he wasn't sure whether or not Luxzak was convicted of that crime. In Uniontown, Fayette County, Ricky Sayer, KDK TV News.
If the criminal does not fear the police, a judge, or prison, he must be taught to fear his victims.